Today marks the 10-year anniversary of the 9/11 attacks that were brought forth on the World Trade Centers and the Pentagon, and what was thought to become an attack on the White House.
When 9/11 happened, the terrorist attacks, I was in 4th grade, so I was about 9 years old.
And I was 3 when 9/11 happened. I was at my grandparents' house because I was not yet old enough to go to school. And I was sitting there on the couch watching TV with my grandma.
I was at the age of, I was 3 about, and because of the time difference, first plane hit at about 8:45, and I was 2, I wasn't up by that time basically, on the east or west coast, sorry.
I don't really remember much. I didn't really know what was going on. My school had all the classes go down to like the basement part of it.
And the news report came on, and they showed footage of the first building. They didn't know what happened, thought it was just an accident.
Basically, the principal let us know what happened, that there were buildings that got hit by planes, that a lot of people were dying or had died, that they didn't really know much information except they heard it in the news.
But when I got to school that day, everything, I can't remember much, but everyone seemed on edge. The teachers did. I don't remember, but I think we might have had an announcement because just the whole scale of it. And basically the country was watching as we were attacked, and we couldn't do anything about it.
And I don't remember seeing the other plane, the plane crash into the other building. They started talking about the other tower, and when I was sitting there with my grandma, she started crying, and since I was only 3, I didn't quite understand what was going on, but I knew something bad was happening. 2 really big towers were on fire, collapsing and stuff, and I started crying too, because my grandma was.
That day we had a early out. When we went back to our classrooms, my teacher turned on the TV and we were watching it. Again, at the time, I didn't really understand what was happening, so on the TV there were people that were falling down the buildings because they had jumped out. They'd rather jumped out of the buildings and burned to death. And my friends and I were laughing at it because we thought it was funny that people were flying down the buildings, you know. When I told my mom about it, because my mom was a teacher at the school, after school I told her about it, she kind of scolded me for that and yelled at me and made me realize that no, they weren't, it wasn't funny that they were going to die, that they did die. After school ended, we went to my grandma's house to pick up my little sister. At the time she was young, she wasn't in school yet, so she stayed at my grandma's house, who watched her during the day. My aunt and her daughters were living in their basement area. My cousin, who I think is about 3 or 4 years older than me, told me at the time that where I live, that we were next, that we were going to get hit by a plane to, I don't know if she had heard that from somebody else or she's trying to terrorize me. I still don't know, but I was really scared that we were going to be next, but later my mom told me no, that they weren't coming for us. I don't actually think I really understood what happened until about a year later when I was watching the footage and they were doing a remembrance of it and stuff in 2002. When the president was on the TV talking about it, I stayed up late to watch that, and that's when I think I realized what exactly had happened. 9 years old, that's really young, and that's not, like, you can't expect a 9-year-old to exactly know what happened, but I remembered that it was very important, that a lot of people died.
We couldn't do anything. These hijackers had taken over the planes, and we were just sitting and watching because we couldn't do anything about it.
That's about as much as I remember. I don't really remember anything after that. After a while, I kind of understood.
Even now, I'm still learning stuff about 9/11 that I'd never learned before, and it's interesting, but it just makes you really sad to think of all those people that died and stuff. Proud to be an American and never forget September 11th.